Alrighty, folks. Today is the day. This is for the Nomadic-Ark. I don't know. Plus Nomadic-Ark. Let me go check the box. We'll see what this fan is. What did I purchase? Airplus. Let's do a little. Already unboxed this and did a bunch of things. Okay, so here we have the Nomadic-Ark Airplus with the smoked lid. But it's pretty much like a Max Air. I did a bench test the other day. Everything powers up. It works. So we're all good there. Here's, your 14 by 14 cutout. So I've got some butyl tape on the bottom. I doubled it around every edge. So on each screw hole, there's tape underneath it. So I pretty much covered that whole lip. Well, I did get all the sound deadener, factory sound deadener off of the ceiling so I can drill up there and jigsaw. I made a template. So I mapped it all out and it will fit. And this is quite snug. So worst case scenario, I'll be able to keep widening it and shift it if my hole is a little off. It's tricky to know where to go. So I went up on the roof of the van and I put the ring will sit right to the edge of this. And it does sit between these factory ribs on each side. So one thing I did notice is it's not centered. So if you're centered in this opening, you're actually like 3 inches here and 4 inches here or something. It's about 3/4 of an inch off. So I don't know. I just put get close to this. Let's just go take a look-see up on the roof. This is all mapped out. It's taped. I'm going to follow this line here. I'm going to use the box the fan came with. I'm going to tape it up to the ceiling here to catch all the itty bitties. And so here's things you're going to need for the job. All the things. So, jigsaw. Most people don't have this tool. It's called a band file. And I have one of these for my job, and it's absolutely fantastic. So instead of having to hand file all the edges after jigsaw, I can use this, and I have different grits of sanding belt, and it's actually for sanding metal and everything. So I'll be able to clean up the edges. If I need to make it wider, it's really easy to use this and start taking off material and do a really nice straight job, round all the edges. Drill, duh, you gotta drill the hole. This is a very large and wide step bit, but I just need a bit. I've got a hole punch, so I'm going to get up on the roof and I'm going to punch the holes in the corners of where I want my step bit to go and pilot holes. Ear protection, apparently you need that. I got my sunglasses on, so therefore I've got eye protection. I'm going to mar up the paint a bit where the butyl tape will sit and the caulking, so kind of like a Brillo pad. I've got some Gorilla tape and some painter's tape. That will be, I'm going to put the Gorilla tape on. Once I start cutting the metal, it'll start getting a little floppy, so I'm going to use this to hold it stable. And this will be for kind of taping this off for caulking and everything. I do have some countersink or chamfer bits. So when you drill the holes, you can kind of soften them up and deburr them. Tape measure, you got to have one of those. Ye old gloves. I got a bunch of clamps. Paper towel. Got some acetone. Acetone to clean up all the bits you sand off. I do have some Rust-Oleum paint, and I'm going to spray it in there and paint it on. I do have 2 different kinds of kind of caulking and sealant, and I'm unsure as to what I want to use yet. I don't have lap sealant. I don't like the way that looks. That's about the gist of it. So that's what you need. Those are just the tools you need. The main thing you need, courage. I got a bunch of stuff on the roof. This is the prep zone. So I got the box, wedged it up. I got some Gorilla tape holding this thing up there. I got a tarp. Hopefully that's enough. Okay, here we go, up on the roof. Alrighty, well the sun's behind me, so shadow might be a bit in the way, but all mapped out. My interior trim ring sits quite well on it once I get it all in, so it should sit pretty good. I know that fits on the inside. I'm gonna pilot this and hope for the best. Oh, see, there's still, I can turn back right now, you know? I'm gonna have to edit this video, make it look like I did this real fast. Holy crap. I'm gonna try the step bit. Actually, what I forgot to bring up, vacuum. Did make things this stuff really tight. I'm not sure if that's advisable or not, but I did it anyway. Figure there's more room. Once you can always keep taking material off. Once you remove it, you can't put it back. So, holy cow. Vacuum time. Fooling, hey? This is extremely unsettling. I think it's easier if I... What's this way easier? This. I don't want to be leaning over there. I think I'll do this one first because that's the furthest, most awkward. And I'll just leave a little bit there. Then I'll get the front here. And I'll do these sides. I think that's my goal. That's my tactic. Okay, so they say go quickly. Okay, pretty okay. Do a little tape. I'm gonna go this way. Leave that there. A little bit of tape. Now this part's a little tricky because this rib here kind of rubs on this, but I'm gonna just, we'll get through it. Oh boy. Okay, so last edge. How do I want to do this? Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use this bit. That's sharp. You know, I'm gonna put this under here a little bit. Take that. Looks about right. Guess we're gonna find out. Get that vacuum. Thing would be to go get the blower. Oh, that's something. That is something. I can't believe I did it. All right. Let's get this tape off and we'll set the vent insert in. This part probably is not very entertaining. What's more boring than watching paint dry? Bald guy removing tape. That's pretty boring. I don't know if this officially makes it a camper van. Nah, probably not. It doesn't have power, doesn't have plumbing, doesn't have insulation, doesn't have a bed, doesn't even have a table. Definitely not a camper van yet. On a positive note, I think I actually have rims now. What a pain in the butt trying to find some. Turns out everybody wants Black Rhino Arsenal rims. Speaking of which, the moment I get this tape off, I'm going to call that guy and just make sure that all those rims are mine. He said he was holding them for me. So there's a hole. And what I'm going to do, I think you can still see, got my band file. And basically, just kind of sand. This side was a little snug. I did a test fit and the ring wouldn't fit, which is good. Rather be too tight than too small. I hope these radiuses aren't too big either. That is like a great fit. It's like perfect on these ribs here. Perfect right there. Nice big old bead of caulking, polyurethane or something, whatever stuff I bought. I have no idea how square this is on the inside. I suppose I should go look at that right now. Let's remove our lovely box. Right. Oh, baby. Don't slip and fall. All right. Oh, also, I made a phone call and I have secured my rims. Happy. All right. So I think I'm gonna take trim ring out, scuff things up, use a little acetone, get that stuff painted. Probably paint from the inside, because why wouldn't I? All right. I did it. It's my first time. I might even have a victory beer. Scratched it up a little bit with the Brillo pad. a little bit of glass cleaner to clean up some of the dirt and stuff. Got some of the bits of metal off of the roof up there, and now I'm gonna take some acetone and really clean up everything up there. Then I'm gonna get the paint and paint the edges, and there's a little bit of scuffed up paint up there, but there we go. Stick my head through the roof. This is fun. So it came with these little small Phillips screws. You know, they're stainless, but they're itty bitties. So I got these nice coated stainless. They're flathead, so they'll sit nice, and they got a bit better of a surface, so I can fill the holes. I'm going to pre-drill all the holes, and these are also self-tappers, which is nice. Probably not the greatest shot there. So there we go. And then it's a really large flat head. So I'll be able to fill this with caulking, and then when this locks down onto that plastic trim, it'll just allow a bit more to provide a better seal, and then I can seal up over top of this and be nice and flat. And that's my thought. I did one coat of paint already. Why not do another? And I'm going to fill this whole inside with trim ring. Sits really snug in this frame. I'm not sure if that's good or bad. Center punch all the holes after these two are in. Remove them. Whew. Shvetty. Okay, so I didn't film that, but I ended up drilling all the holes. I went up there, used the hole punch, and used a nice new drill bit that is smaller than this. And how about holes? Because what I'm going to do, I don't know, that's probably not a very good film job. They're all drilled. I'm going to do a little, I don't know if you can see this. This is just the wrong angle. A little chamfering. Isn't that nice? Probably can't see. Thing was late in the day. There we go. Look at this angle. That's way better. This tarp is just straight up danger. I am a champion. All right, paintbrush. I don't like you, and you don't like me. But actually, I like painting. Starting to second guess myself now if I made this hole too tight. Next, now would be the time to fix it, hey? Frank. If you actually measure the actual flange itself, it's 13 3/4. There's an 1/8 on each side. I was like, well, I'm going to make it 13 3/4. Bang on. And I did. Whatever else always says 14 by 14. 13 31 32, so 14 inches. I sure shit didn't do that. So the issue would be if it starts expanding and contracting, it could crack the plastic. I suppose that would be the logic, where you want a little bit of play. I'm going to ban file it again. I think I'm just going to play it safe. I trust my instinct or whatnot. But if it starts to twist and then it cracks it, right? Like that's plastic against metal. Frig. All right, I did it. I widened it. Actually, it was pretty easy. I just did like another good like 32nd, 16th on each side. So it's a little bit more. I think they give you a lot of play just in case you're off. But I think it's probably wise to not make these like tight as hell. Probably not advisable. Pink time. the vent trim on. All the holes are poked through. I have acetoned it, cleaned it up. I got the caulking on there. I've got a trim wood piece and I put caulking on that. And I also did some caulking around, I don't know if you can see it, around the inside edge on this ring to the frame. I did that whole edge sealed. I'm going to go up and clamp this ring into place. Then I'm going to put caulking on all the holes that are pre-drilled. Clamping them. Ugh, that's caulking all over my hands. Lovely. I'm going to go back down and get the paper towel because, yeah. The old love glove on. Get our screws out. We'll just kind of go opposites. Just want to get this in. I'm going to hold the clamp below. And the butyl's starting to push out, which is nice. And we'll push from underneath. This actually feels really good. Butyl squeezing out. I think it's got a good adhesion. So the thing with polyurethane is, this shit is messy. Very, very messy. And I'll show you when I'm done this finicky little nonsense here on like how close this trim gets to these ribs. This, I'm not sure if we can see. So this frame sits really close to this rib right here. Very close. So I'm just going to backfill this whole thing. Tool around here. I've got all the tape edge. And I'll lift up the tape when I'm done. So I'm not overly happy with the way these screws look. Now they are filled with the caulking, which is good. I've been debating. I can always go back and clean it up and do stuff later. I might. Yeah, I know it's sealed. Now it's more aesthetics. Polyurethane does suck ass though, working with. Let's not pretend here. I suppose now this channel is not kid friendly. Suppose that just got me out of the kid friendly. Why is that bubbling? See? This stuff actually works wonders. You can smooth it out with your finger. And fuck. And that didn't hit that. God. Let's get this fan on because we're losing daylight. Okay. Now let's see if I did this right. I know some people say you gotta lift these tabs up quite a bit. Okay, so make sure your things are in there. Let's do it this way. Ooh. Nice. That actually wasn't that bad. I definitely was nervous the entire time, but there's enough videos out there, and like even this one, having one more doesn't hurt. Yeah, it's in. In my trim ring here, I had put caulking on the top of it, and it has now squeezed out, so it is completely sealed all up there. All in all, difficulty level, I don't know, 10 is the worst, 1 is okay. It's definitely scarier than a riv nut, but all in all, we'll call it a 6.